How to create a trust for my family. So first of all, let's talk about the differences between a will and a trust. Number two, how to set one up. And number three, why every family should have one. I don't care where you are in the world. Let's start with that. Everywhere in the world has probate. So upon your passing, you're going to end up in probate. In America, when you have a family living trust, a revocable trust, you actually avoid probate and the wishes of the family stay intact. So a will is just a will. It's your stuff. How much are you going to give away? Well, who's going to get the jewelry? Who's going to get the cars? Who's going to get the furniture, the paintings, the stuff, right? That's the will. That's the giving away of the items. You could even identify money inside of there, but the will is a section of a trust. A pour over will, a section of the trust. Powers of attorney. There should have two powers of attorney, one for financial matters and one for your health matters. And if you don't have all those documents, you need to get them. I want to send you to our link. I do own a trust company with a partner of mine, Scott, and Generational Wealth is our company. Click on the show notes. Go get an appointment. Let's talk about how we can help you get a trust. We have an alliance of lawyers all over the country, few in Canada and even in Mexico. So click on that link and let us do a one-on-one with you. So here's some bonus facts. 33% of Americans have an estate plan. That's it. Trust can save 5 to 15% in legal fees and estate taxes. And the average probate will take 12 to 18 months if you don't have a trust. And I have clients that literally have been in probate for 34 years, because here's the worst structure. If you have multiple kids or blended families and you don't have them separated in trusts, very clearly lining out what each person's going to get financially, who gets to run the companies, who gets to be the executor, how is all lined up, when do they get it? My kids don't start any of theirs until 35 and then the completion around 45 years old. So you can lay out complete behavior inside of your trust. So again, just some really specific facts. It avoids probate, court, and public records. Again, you decide who and what each heir is going to receive, and it protects you from lawsuits and taxes. See, the biggest thing about a trust is you actually get to create generational wealth from it. So you can say, instead of 2.3 years is the average generational wealth, loss where everything's gone after 2.3 years. So instead of raising trust fund babies, raise educated kids that create a legacy, Rockefeller style. So setting up a trust. Most people start with a revocable family living trust, which is the one that will avoid probate. As you become a millionaire, multimillionaire, you usually will add at least one, if not more, irrevocable trusts. What that means is you're going to have a trustee and the assets are held in trust, so they're not even yours in your control anymore. You actually have to be in a relationship with either a lawyer, a CPA, or a very, very dear, close friend, partner, someone that you're going to select to be the executor of those trusts. The biggest mistake that we see in trusts, they lack the funding, meaning the assets you have are not identified properly into the trust. For example, your home should be straight to trust. Your company should be straight to trust. But if your home is in an LLC, all assets should be in companies and then companies held in trust. The companies get your tax deductions, the trusts don't. So a lot of people, when we get them as clients, they've had some estate lawyer set them up and they have all of their real estate straight to the trust, which means they have no deductibility or very little deductibility on how that asset books through on their tax returns. So be super mindful. You're going to need corporate structure. You're going to need our trust team. You're going to need the compliance of the company, a tax strategist, and an insurance agent. There is what I call the power of 5. There's 5 people that put together a good plan. So if you only have one person, you don't have enough people, in our opinion, to have a good estate plan. So if you ever want to talk to anyone on our team, please download The Millionaire Maker. It's a brand new book, version 2, and read up to page 3. It's a gap analysis where then you get to have a one-on-one conversation to talk about the gaps in your current financial and or estate plan. From there, if you're interested and you qualify, we'll send you on to the trust team, the corporate structure team, have integrated for you that power team of 5. That team can become your team by just the click of this button and filling out that gap analysis. Now, before we finish with the maintenance of the trust and what you have to do during your lifetime, I want you to subscribe to the channel, click the notification button, be here 5 days a week. And believe me, if you are receiving an inheritance, you need to send this video widely to aunts, uncles, parents. And if you're going to be allocating an inheritance, those kids need to get educated. Unless you want to raise trust fund babies that are going to blow the money the minute you pass, which is why I want you and your whole family here 5 days a week. We are a family-friendly channel, and it helps you get an alignment in the family conversation about money. Have dinners. Have a money night. Do something like that. Buy our game. I'll give you a 50% discount on my Millionaire Maker game, just so you can get this conversation of legacy estate planning at the kitchen table for you and your family. Now, how do you maintain a trust? At minimum, you want to review it every 3 years. Anytime there's a significant change, like my son got married, my daughter turned 18, actually just turned 19. So now I'm reviewing all of that because now they're grown adults. We don't need to have the, what happens if something happens to me and they're under 18, who's going to be their guardians. But if you have young kids under 18, you do need to allocate who's going to be the guardian in case something happens to you. The biggest thing is to make sure you keep it funded, keep it accurate, and stay in touch with your team. That's not only me as your facilitator, it's your lawyer, it's the corporate structure, corporate compliance, tax, and insurance all in one conversation. If you have any questions, go to AskLoral.com. We have an amazing channel here. We have playlists where you can just list and go on and on and on through all sorts of topics, from trust to corporate structure to living corporate life. Last thing I'm going to give you really quick, there's 2 tickets to our Millionaire Intensive. They're in the show notes. Make sure you show up to one of those events and really learn that acquiring wealth and becoming a millionaire is at your fingertips. It's 3 to 5 years away if you really lean in and learn. I'll talk to you tomorrow.